Manx Lottery Trust do a thematic funding each year, and this year really was about well-being and mental health, and we thought this is perfect for victim support. So we have put in an application for a 3-year project. So basically we want to proactively identify and engage with people who are affected by domestic abuse, and that would be, we would have a work specifically dedicated to identifying those individuals, going out and getting into the community, which we haven't been able to do up to now. Yes, we have referrals that we receive and people contact us that may be referrals either from the police or other organisations, but we haven't been able to go out and proactively engage. And this is for funding for 42,000 per year for 3 years under that thematic funding which the Manx Lottery Trust have been very generous in providing for us.
So you've mentioned the application was successful, and sort of what happens next then, really, in terms of that money and how that's allocated?
So we have advertised, and only yesterday we held the interviews for that project worker. So it's all very fresh and very new, and we're hoping they're going to start very soon. Maybe for the 1st of April, maybe not, but fingers crossed. But the issues about domestic abuse on the island, like I say, we have people who come to us and have been referred to us, and people who might find us themselves. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. If I can just sort of talk about some figures. So 83% of people who are victims of partner abuse, according to the surveys in England and Wales, so 83% of those don't actually contact the police. And also in the crime survey of England and Wales, which I know we're not part of England and Wales, but they're estimating that 6 in 100 adults are victims of domestic abuse in a year. So we look at the population of the Isle of Man, we could be talking about 5,000 victims a year who are victims of domestic abuse. And when the police were only receiving just over 100, 120, I think, victims in their annual report identified specifically as domestic abuse. Again, that's only the tip of the iceberg. So this is to proactively go out, identify and engage with members of the community who we are already getting. Now, that's not just, I'm not blaming the police. No, it's we need to go out and contact people and raise awareness of domestic abuse, raise awareness of the services available on the island, and make contact with those people who might not nor ordinarily be able to access the services for language, for culture, for disability, or any reason, and try and get in to them to raise awareness that the services are available to that, so that we can try and make the island's community safer.
You mentioned some of the barriers to people perhaps reporting incidents of domestic abuse, but still a figure of more than 80% not being escalated to being at the police attention is, as an isolated statistic, that's probably fairly alarming to some people. And what perhaps would be some of the reasons for that, maybe?
The barriers for people reporting to the police, it's not so much about the police being brought to the attention, it's people reporting. So that would be, it's really tricky to report an incident that has been occurred by somebody who is technically your nearest and dearest. So this can be a partner, it can be a family member, and that's really, really hard, so barriers to do that. But there's also consequences if they're in fear, often, of what may happen. Now that could be fear of financial circumstances, fear of further violence, could be fear of up sticks and what may happen to the children. So there's all these factors to take into consideration. So what this post holder will do is actually engage in a training course, an independent domestic violence advisor training course, and within that there's risk assessments, skills and safety work. And it's been shown that with the input of an IDVA, the 54% of cases, the abuse is stopped. So what we're trying to do is make people safer. It's not necessarily trying to stop. Well, we would like it all to stop, we really, really would, but it's trying to make the whole situation safer for the individuals and any children that are involved, and hopefully make a difference. Like I say, if that's 5,000 members of the population of the Isle of Man who are affected by domestic abuse, and if we can reduce that to 54%, the cases are stopped, then we're making a whole lot of people safer.